Beaches used to be my favorite place growing up. Every summer, my family rented a small cottage right on the edge of a quiet inlet in the Outer Banks, North Carolina. The water was calm, almost like a lake, with docks stretching out from the houses on both sides. I was 18 that year, and for the first time, my parents let me invite 2 friends, Jake and Ryan, to stay for a long weekend while they were away on a trip. The house was perfect, 1 story with big windows facing the water, a back deck over the inlet, a small private dock, and an old boathouse where the previous owners kept a little fishing boat. We spent the first day messing around, grilling, swimming, blasting music. By night, we invited a couple of girls we'd met at the beach earlier. Things were going great. Bonfire on the sand, some drinks, laughter echoing over the water. Around midnight, we were all out on the deck when Ryan suddenly went quiet. He pointed across the inlet to the opposite shore, maybe 100 yards away. "You guys see that?" he whispered. At first, I thought it was nothing, just shadows from the trees. But then headlights from a passing car on the road lit up the dock over there for a second. 4 figures were standing perfectly still at the end of it, facing our direction. No movement, no lights, just watching. We laughed it off at first. "Probably locals checking out the party," Jake said. The girls got a little uneasy and wanted to head inside. We turned the music down and started cleaning up. That's when we heard it, a faint splash. Then another, and 2 more. Consecutive, like people jumping in one after another. Our hearts dropped. Ryan ran to the railing. In the moonlight, we could see ripples spreading from the far dock. Something, or someone, was swimming straight toward us. The water wasn't deep there, but it was dark and full of seaweed. We bolted inside, slamming the sliding glass door and locking it. Jake checked the front door too. We huddled in the living room, lights off, phones out, whispering. Minutes passed in silence. Then we heard wet footsteps on the deck boards above us, slow, deliberate, like they were trying not to make noise but couldn't help it. The deck was right over the living room. We could hear every drip. One of the girls started crying quietly. Ryan grabbed a kitchen knife, but none of us really knew what to do. We weren't fighters, just scared kids. The footsteps stopped. Then came the sound of the boathouse door creaking open. We always left it unlocked because it was just junk inside. A minute later, the low rumble of an engine starting. Our boat. They were taking it. We waited another 10 minutes before peeking out. The boat was gone, and so were the figures. We called the police right away. When they arrived, the house looked untouched except for the open boathouse and missing boat. Nothing valuable stolen from inside. No TVs, no laptops, just the boat. The cops said it was probably opportunistic thieves who knew the area, maybe watching for empty rentals. But here's what freaked us out most. The spare key to the boat was hidden in a magnetic box under the hull, something only the owners, and maybe close family, would know about. How did they find it so fast in the dark? The police filed a report, put out a bolo for the boat, but nothing ever came of it. No sightings, no arrests. Years later, I ran into Jake at a wedding. We hadn't talked much since college. Over drinks, the topic came up. He told me something wild. His younger cousin, who's about 19 now, was out on the water last summer with friends on a rented jet ski. They anchored near a secluded marsh island a few miles down the coast, a spot locals avoid because it's protected wetlands and you're not supposed to go there after dark. While they were hanging out on the sandbar, one of them spotted an old fishing boat anchored nearby that looked eerily familiar. Same make, same faded blue stripe. The cousin swam closer, stupid, I know, and swore it was our family's old boat. Same registration numbers partially visible under new paint scratches. They didn't have phones, left them on the jet ski to avoid water damage, and it was getting too dark to take pics anyway. As they headed back, they saw a guy on the island walking toward them with what looked like a long tool, maybe a shovel or oar. He sped up when he saw them looking. They panicked, ran to the jet ski, and took off. The guy turned and sprinted the other way, probably to his boat. On the ride back, they kept hearing an engine in the distance behind them, but it never got close enough to see. The cousin told his parents the next day, minus the part where they were trespassing. They reported it to the Coast Guard, but again, nothing. No follow-up, no recovery. The cops said boats get repainted, numbers sanded off. It's common for stolen vessels to disappear into private docks or get chopped for parts. Jake and I still don't know what to think. Was it really our boat? Were those the same people from that night? And what was the guy digging or burying on that island? I've never felt safe near water since. Every creak at night, every shadow on the dock, it takes me right back. Lock your doors, check your boats, and maybe don't swim alone after dark. You never know who's watching from across the water.